Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming and technology news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about an emulation front end on Android, Daijisho, and Daijisho just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, the latest update here is version 1.4.68, and they do recommend picking up Daijisho from the Google Play Store instead of on GitHub here because of the size of the APK. The APK on GitHub is designed for global distribution as opposed to the one that's tailored for your device. Now, to be honest, I don't hear that too much. However, if I take a look at the size of Daijisho on Google Play, it's sitting at 248 megabytes. And if I take a look at it on Google Play, it's sitting at 28.75 megabytes. So that's a pretty big difference. So as for what's new here, they've added in genre, synchronization, wallpaper, adaptive color theming, and even more. And if you're unsure as to what an emulation front end is, it basically works with your emulators to organize everything and make things look good. If you use Daijisho, let me know in the comments below. But moving on, and next up we're talking about Windows emulation on Android with not win now, but win later. And apparently here someone's got Gears of War 3 up and running on their Android device via win later. I am not joking with you. So it appears they are using a 2011 leaked build of Gears of War 3 that was working on PC. And things appear to be booting and playable, although some people are saying there is some frame skipping. Now, the person who posted this said it wasn't easy to get set up, but they are using a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, and they say they can hit 30 FPS easily and upscale it to 720p. Talk about impressive. Next up here, if you're ever interested in buying rights to video games, I don't know if this is real or not, and I don't know how this one's going to pan out. But apparently there's a website here called elitesystems.auction where you can pick up an IP and own it. Now, it's worth pointing out I haven't seen anything active just yet, but here is Dragon's Lair, and this auction is apparently for all rights for the SNES, Genesis, NES, and Game Boy versions of the game only. And this allows people to basically print and make copies of those versions of the game. Now, if this site actually takes off and there's more IPs up for sale here, I'm very curious to see who's going to buy them. If it's going to be game publishers looking to publish new versions of old games, or if it's going to be collectors wanting to hoard stuff. And speaking about interesting stuff, next up we're talking about Masters of Albion. Now, apparently this game is based on Fable's world, but it has nothing to do with Fable or Microsoft. So the creator of this game says Fable was set in Albion. Masters of Albion is set in Albion. So basically it is the exact same world, and the creator says it's because Albion is the historical term for Great Britain. It's like saying if you set a game in America, you can't set any other game in America. So Albion can't be copyrighted. It's the name of England and Wales, and that's how we get away with it. So let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Do you think it's absolutely fine for Masters of Albion to be set in the exact same world as Fable? Do you think it can be copyrighted? And do you think Microsoft's going to have some sort of problem? I don't think so, considering Microsoft would have done something before now, unless they're just waiting to strike. And speaking about worlds colliding, next up we're talking about Lego and Nintendo. And it appears that Nintendo and Lego are still continuing on with their collaboration with some brand new Lego sets. They've just announced Lego Super Mario Kart sets. All of these sets appear to be under $40, so they're a little bit more affordable when compared to something like the Deku Tree set or the Zelda set or whatever the set's called here. So we've got Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. There's a few different sets and a few different prices, and there's also some Animal Crossing Lego. So for specific here, there's Yoshi Bike, Standard Kart, Donkey Kong and DK Jumbo, Baby Mario versus Baby Luigi, Toad's Garage, Baby Peach, and Grand Prix set. And for the Animal Crossing stuff, there's Stargazing with Celeste, Leaf's Caravan and Garden Shop, and Able Sisters Clothing Shop. Next up, we're talking about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and we talked about this one yesterday when it was rumored it was going to get a PS5 release. And it turns out that it's releasing on December 9th of this year for Xbox and PC, and in January of next year for PS5. And there's also going to be a very interesting collector's edition that isn't cheap. It's about 190 USD, but it comes with an 11-inch globe. Now, it looks like the PS5 is not going to get this collector's edition. It seems exclusive to Xbox and PC, and also to the US only. Next up here, I'm not quite sure on how I feel about this one, but Marvel Entertainment announced Marvel Rivals. And apparently here, this is a free-to-play 6v6 game and all heroes will be included. So this game is releasing on December 6th for PS5, Xbox, and PC. And taking a look at the gameplay here, it does actually look okay. I'm just holding my reservations about the whole free-to-play bit. I'm kind of curious to see what that exactly is going to entail. Let me know your thoughts about this one. Next up here, we're talking about 2K Games, and 2K Games announced 2 different games last night at Gamescom. The first one here is Borderlands 4. This game is set to release in 2025. Unfortunately, the trailer didn't show any gameplay, and I'm wondering if people were going to be extra excited about this because of that Borderlands movie, but unfortunately, the Borderlands movie doesn't seem to be doing too well. But the second game that 2K showcased was Civilization 7, and they did show off gameplay from this one. Civ 7 is set to release on February 25th, 2025. I can't believe we're already almost into 2025, but here we are. But speaking about stuff launching this year, and next up, we're talking about the Atari 7800 Plus, which was just unveiled by Atari. This one is launching on November 29th for about $130. And it will play 7,800 games. It comes with a new controller. It's also compatible with 2,600 games, and they say it's launching alongside a new range of games. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if these new games are going to be exclusive to the 7,800 Plus or if they're going to launch on PC and consoles as well. And speaking about November, next up, we're talking about the Pirate Bay. And in November, it appears there's going to be a brand new TV series in Sweden called The Pirate Bay, based on the founding of Pirate Bay, the people behind it, and the whole story of the Pirate Bay. Reportedly, the creators of the Pirate Bay were not involved here, but they used interviews and people associated with the whole thing. It appears this series is going to be in English, and let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. Are you interested in it? What are your thoughts about the whole commercialization of the Pirate Bay? Next up, I've got a follow-up for you on Bully. Now, we talked about this game the other day when there were rumors out there may be a remaster in the works. And it turns out those rumors are probably unfounded. Rockstar has announced that Bully will be available with the GTA Plus membership, which means this is not a brand new version of Bully, it's the old version. It doesn't appear there's anything going on with this series right now, but I could be wrong. And speaking about rumors, next up we're talking about the Samsung Galaxy S25. This isn't coming out until next year, and people are saying that it's going to be a little bit thinner in the bezel department. And this coincides with the latest rumors about the brand new iPhone as well. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is reportedly only going to have 1.15mm thick bezels. That is extremely thin here, and I don't know about you, but I actually don't mind thicker bezels, and I'm not saying that thin bezels are bad. I'm just saying that when I hold a phone, sometimes my fingers tap the edges of the screen, so I don't mind a thicker bezel. I guess I'm just going to have to get used to very thin bezels. Next up, we're talking about Sony, and it appears that Sony is gearing up for some potential brand new concepts for their controllers. Earlier this month, they filed a patent for a controller that has a charging port for earbuds. And now they filed a patent for a customizable touchscreen. To be honest with you, I've got no idea how popular these touchscreen controllers would be, given the fact that people with mobile devices generally prefer controllers with physical buttons, at least from what I've seen. I don't know if a touchscreen controller would go over well for console gamers. And speaking about consoles, next up we're talking about Batman Arkham Shadow, and this game is not headed to consoles. It's going to be a MetaQuest exclusive, and they just unveiled a brand new gameplay trailer over on YouTube. I'll drop a link to it in the description below. To be honest with you, it looks interesting, but at the same time a little bit disappointing. It's exclusive to the MetaQuest. And speaking about games that look pretty good and aren't exclusive to the MetaQuest, next up we're talking about Dying Light: The Beast. And this game was just announced at Gamescom yesterday, and there's a trailer of it up on YouTube. It's coming out for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of gameplay just yet, nor a release date, but at the same time here, Dying Light: The Beast should tickle that itch for people who like Dying Light. And speaking about scratching that itch, if you're a fan of Dave the Diver and we're looking for some more content from the game, you might be excited about this announcement, and you might not, depending on your interests here. But this happened during Gamescom, and Dave the Diver announced a brand new Balatro, Potioncraft, and MXM Tune collaboration. I'll drop a link to this trailer in the description below and feel free to check it out. Unlike Dying Light without that release date, I do have a release date for this one. It will be coming in October, so just in a few months. And speaking about something that's coming never, next up here we're talking about Blackhawk Emulator, which is being marketed as the first ever PS3 emulator for Android phones. This one I can tell you is 100% fake. It's someone else just trying to get some clout here, get some subscribers, and maybe make a few bucks. Looking at the comments for this one, and some people seem to be very excited about this one, but I can tell you they're probably going to be let down. This is going to be another one of those Artemis things, the fake emulators that pop up that kind of string people along and produce nothing. Now, I could be wrong here, but I haven't really been wrong about this stuff in the past, and I don't foresee myself being wrong about this one either. Next up is a quick heads up that Steam is currently having a Rhythm Fest for rhythm-based games, and there's a brand new game here you might be interested called Base Defense. And this is a base defense game with bass. Now, I haven't played this one yet, but the game does have a demo to get you hooked, and then it's currently 30% off. And on a side note, I do recommend checking out the Steam Rhythm Fest, as there's a lot of great discounts on a lot of great games, including Hi-Fi Rush. Next up, we're talking about Linux, and if you're on Linux and you like control over a whole bunch of stuff while you're gaming, you might be interested in GameMode. GameMode gives you control over stuff like your CPU governor, enabling GPU performance mode, CPU core pinning, and even more. It is free, it's open source, and version 1.82 of GameMode has just dropped, and this one's got a bunch of fixes, including fixing hybrid CPU core pinning. I'll drop a link to it in the description below, and feel free to check it out to learn more about it. Next up, we're talking about Stellar Blade, and if you're a fan of Stellar Blade and wanted to see it on PC, it's currently in development for PC. The developer expects it to be more successful than the console version. Now, unfortunately, I don't know the reason why they expect it to be more popular on PC. Maybe because of a bigger PC player base, or maybe because of the whole modding scene, or something else. If you know, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. And last up here, we're talking about PlayStation 4 emulation with, yes, you guessed it, shadPS4. Now, we've talked about shadPS4 on almost a daily basis, and that's because this emulator keeps making improvements in leaps and bounds. And well, today is no different here. They've implemented something brand new, the ability to add cheats and patches. Now, this is currently a work in progress, but if you wanted to see it in action, I'll drop a link to Brutal Sam's YouTube video in the description below, and feel free to check it out. This is an awesome new feature, especially for those people looking to add stuff like 60 FPS patches and even more. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. And I've even got some more stuff already on the docket to talk to you about tomorrow. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.